Okay. All right, everyone. So, welcome to our Friday masterclass. Today we have special guest Chester French. Just to give everyone a background on the band, if you don't know about them, you should get familiar as soon as possible. They met at Harvard and started out grinding it out in the lab there and making that Master P money, selling albums on the street to literal pedestrians. And then they sent their demo out to a few places and eventually got picked up by Pharrell's label, Star Trek. And after you made it big, you moved, as I understand, out to Los Angeles, which is where Port LA is currently based. And we just moved out here also, and I kind of wanted to get your sense of it because it shows up a lot on your mixtape and in your interviews. It seemed like you really loathed the place. And I have a pretty comfortable life. I go to a lot of farmers markets and talk to girls carrying yoga mats. But what didn't you like about LA, and why did you decide to stay here for only a year?
I was mainly just really expensive. Yeah, it's expensive, and then there are a lot of people that suck there, but there are also tons of cool people there, so it's cool. Every time I go back there, I miss it. Yeah, like LA is definitely more fun when you don't live there. Like, I almost feel that people say of New York is more true of LA. But it's like fun to visit, but not as fun to live.
And so from LA, you both moved back home. DA, you moved back to Milwaukee, and Max moved back to Boston. So how does that work? How do you guys collaborate when you're in two different locales? Are you on Skype and mixing things together that way, or are you always kind of going back and forth?
Yeah, we're on Skype with each other 24 hours a day. Even if we're not talking, just to keep an eye on what the other one's doing. But then when we made the mixtape, DA just came out to Boston, and we went to my friend Dave's house and fatdavesplace.com and used his studio. Got some songs done.
So over the past month seems like it's been pretty crazy for you guys. Just tell me a little about what you've been up to just since the album dropped and how you've been promoting that.
Man, we just been on tour, really. That's like the main thing. Right now, we got a handful of people around the country and around the world who have heard our music but have never sort of met us or hung out. And one thing we always used to talk about was how cool, Led Zeppelin must have been, just because it was basically traveling around the world throwing parties. So that's the movement we're trying to work on right now. Like, we did the recordings, we put out 2 real albums, and now we're just going around throwing parties around the country, playing and making people get down with us.
Great. And how do you view your live stuff as compared to your recorded music? Do you think one is like a more true experience of what Chester French is all about?
No, it's really energetic live. We just like to turn it into a party live, and we're sort of more of a rock band live than we are on record.
Cool.
Making a record's a lot more about thinking, and playing a show's a lot more about acting.
Right.
Not like actor acting, like theater acting, not like that acting, like doing.
Yeah, general performance. And did that come naturally to you, the acting part of it, as you say, or were you more kind of? Did the acting part of it, the performance, did that come naturally to you, or were you more?
Acting. I just mean like it's about doing an action, not about faking it or performing it.
Right. Okay, I see.
Not like being in a moment doing something.
Right.
Yeah, we put together a live band, and our band is really good at this point. We've been out for over a year with mainly the same people, and we're good at being spontaneous together and good at being together. And it's at this point, it's things we do come naturally because it's just we're used to each other now.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of. I haven't seen you guys live, but I've seen a lot of stuff on the Information Superhighway, and it sounds like you guys do a great show.
We do a fucking great show.
Beyond just the music, there's kind of a whole Chester French experience that you've kind of let your fans into, and I know you guys are all really proactive and kind of having people get familiar with you in a variety of ways through your blog, through Twitter, through all this different kind of stuff. Was that a conscious strategy you had? Where did that kind of come from? Because it seems like most hip hop acts, their motto could be, bitch, you don't know me, or something like that, where they kind of try to keep their audience at arm's length to create kind of, elevate their status and their kind of whole feeling of their music. But you kind of do the opposite, and you really let people into your entourage. What
Well, yeah. I mean, if your whole thing is about bullshitting and posturing and trying to convince people that you're somehow better than them or superior to them or different than you actually are in real life, then that being a dick and not hanging out with people is a good way to go about that. But we're pretty comfortable acting like ourselves and presenting ourselves differently. So I'd rather hang with people than not.
Right. Definitely. And
one of the things about this is you get to go around the country and make friends like everywhere.
Right.
And that's one of the coolest parts of this job. So I think you enjoy that.
Yeah. Is it a task? Updating all of your various portals and like letting people know what you're up to all the time, or is that something that kind of comes naturally and is just an extension of who you are?
Well, I mean, like in the past, I would maybe be blogging like occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I find it easier to just kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of fun just to see what people respond to, and like I said, like we know a lot of the people who are supporting us. We get to meet them when we go around the country. So it's just a cool way to stay in touch with people.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's not like I feel like we're broadcasting to the world. It's like we've just got a pretty wide circle of casual friends.
Right.
That will keep us informed.
Right. That's really cool.
Traveling around the country, having a lot of casual encounters. A lot of casual.
Yeah. Sweet. And so we make viral videos. We're mostly like an online video production company, and I see you guys do a lot with video. Kind of how did that start, and kind of you think it's been successful? The kind of
we were just inspired by you.
Right.
Yeah, and we also I think you probably agree with this. Like we think that video is going to become like a big deal in the next few years.
Right.
Like it's going to be everywhere. Like in people's houses. Like everybody's
Right.
going to have some sort of like video that they can watch in their house. You know what I mean? And like that's going to be a totally new thing for the world.
You guys got your ear to the street.
We're just trying to be ahead of the curve and use video technology because audio recording can only take you so far.
Right. The days of radio are quickly approaching their end.
I think it's pretty fun now, so we can make this an olfactory experience as well.
Sweet. Cool. Well, so you guys are in Chicago, on your way to Chicago right now. Tell me about the party that's going down tonight.
Well, we're throwing a Jacques Jam with Clint tonight, and the great thing about a Jacques Jam is that whatever we do tonight is a Jacques Jam.
Right.
Like us and Clinton.
It's very tightly
So
defined.
we really don't know what's going to happen, and we don't want to spoil the surprise for anyone, including ourselves. So.
Like endurance. That's great. Is there a venue picked out even, or is it that kind of loose?
Tonight, it's a starting point.
There's a starting point. Okay.
I forget what is it? Rhino. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Nice.
We're really aggressive like that class gay bar.
Sweet. And what's kind of up for you guys in the next couple months? Are you guys gonna be doing more of the Led Zeppelin, just taking it on the road and recording new things, or are you gonna cut off your tour at some point?
You're going to the old world.
The old world?
Yeah, we're going to the old world next month.
Europe. I'm interested in how you guys deal with haters on the internets, and why do you think the vibe of the internet is negative or like at least polarizing? Have you found that people act very strongly in one direction to your music or to your whole act?
Yeah, I mean, we get some haters and generally do one of two things. Either ignore them because they're being complete assholes and, you can't take them seriously, or if it's someone who maybe just hasn't actually listened to us, I might contact them and suggest that we send them a copy of our album or something so that they can get familiar and hopefully, be converted into a supporter.
Right.
Actually, several times that's worked,
And you see them at your shows, or they send you an email and that they've started a fan blog in your honor or something?
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good ones,
Good. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time, and good luck tonight, whatever Jock Jams is. I hope it's great.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
Sure,
guys.
man.